There are moments in history where everything collapses at once. Not slowly, not gracefully, but all at once. And if you're standing in the right place at the wrong time, you don't just survive it, you can take control of it. This is one of those moments. Level 1, the collapse. It's 1991. You are 34 years old, a trained officer in the KGB. You sit in a dim office in Moscow, staring at paperwork that no longer matters. The heater barely works. Outside, people are standing in long lines just to buy bread. Your salary? It's worthless. Your badge? It means nothing anymore. The Soviet Union, the system you were trained to protect, is dying right in front of you. And the worst part? Nobody is in control. You watch as your colleagues panic. Some burn classified files, others quietly disappear, trying to secure their own futures. But you don't panic. You observe. Because you understand something they don't. Power doesn't disappear, it just changes hands. You look around the room and realize you still have something valuable. You have information, you have connections, you have access to weapons, logistics, and secrets that ordinary people couldn't even imagine. And suddenly, a thought forms in your mind. If the state is collapsing, then someone new will take its place. Why shouldn't that be you? Level 2, the first move. The streets are chaos now. No police, no real government, just confusion and opportunity. But there's a problem. You were trained in intelligence, not street control. And the streets belong to someone else. They belong to criminals. You need them. So you go where real power lives. Prison. Not the kind of place politicians understand, but the kind of place where violence is organized, structured, controlled. You sit across from a man covered in tattoos, a Vory Zakone, a fief in law. He doesn't smile. He doesn't trust you. And he shouldn't, because you represent the system that used to hunt men like him. But that system is gone now. So you make him an offer. You don't threaten him. You don't act superior. You speak calmly. You tell him, I give you passports, weapons, protection. And you give me your men. Silence. He studies you. And then he nods. In that moment, something changes forever. The line between state and crime disappears. Level 3, the new order. The 90s in Russia aren't just chaotic. They are violent, explosive, unpredictable. Every day, businesses are being taken over, factories are being sold, banks are being emptied. The West calls it privatization. You call it opportunity. Because now, you don't need permission. You have muscle. You have intelligence. And most importantly, you have no rules. A businessman tries to compete with you for an oil asset. The next day, he's in the hospital. Another refuses to cooperate. He disappears. You don't need to fight everyone. You just need to make examples. Fear spreads faster than violence, and soon, nobody competes with you anymore. You acquire assets for almost nothing. Factories, shipping routes, energy infrastructure. You are no longer just an officer. You are becoming something else, something new, an oligarch. Level 4, the structure. Now the chaos starts to stabilize, not because the country is recovering, but because people like you are organizing it. You begin to build structure, hierarchy, systems. You divide your operations, street enforcement, logistics, finance. You create layers, so nobody sees the full picture, so nobody can betray you completely. Money flows in from everywhere, but there's a problem. It's dirty, and dirty money is useless if you can't spend it. So you evolve. You step away from the streets and into something more powerful. Level 5, the financial machine. You move into offices, glass buildings, clean environments. Now your weapon isn't violence, it's complexity. You create companies, then companies that own companies, then companies in other countries that own those companies. Cyprus, Dubai, Switzerland. Names change, structures shift, money moves. And suddenly, the same money that came from violence looks legitimate. You sit with bankers in London. They know who you are. They know exactly where the money comes from. But they don't ask questions, because the money is too good. And that's when you realize something important. The system isn't fighting you. It's working with you. Level 6, expansion. Russia isn't enough anymore. You think bigger, global. You send your people abroad, Europe, America. They don't act like criminals. They act like businessmen. Quiet, strategic. They don't attract attention. They exploit systems, tax fraud, financial manipulation, legal loopholes. They take millions without ever touching the streets. And law enforcement? They don't understand what they're looking at. They are trained to fight visible crime. You are invisible. And that makes you dangerous. Level 7. The Understanding. At some point, you realize something even darker. The people who could stop you won't, because they are afraid of something worse. Chaos, collapse, unpredictability. So they make a decision, not publicly, not officially, but quietly. They tolerate you, because a controlled system, even a corrupt one, is better than no system at all. And you become part of that system. Level 8. The merge years pass. Power consolidates. And something strange happens. You expected to control the system, but instead, you become it. The state and the network merge. You no longer operate outside the system. You operate through it. You receive requests, tasks, operations, not from criminals, but from people in power. And in return, you receive protection. Total protection. Now, you are untouchable. Level 9, the peak. You are older now, richer than you ever imagined. You own properties across the world. Your children study in elite schools. You travel privately. You live in luxury. From the outside, you've won. But something feels different. You don't go out freely. You don't trust easily. Every conversation feels calculated. Every relationship feels temporary. Because deep down, you know something. There is no retirement in this world. Only continuation or removal. Level 10, the cycle. You look back at everything. The collapse, the rise, the deals, the violence, the system you built. And you realize something uncomfortable. You didn't just take advantage of chaos. You became part of a machine that doesn't stop, a machine that replaces people, even you. Because one day, you will be gone. Maybe quietly, maybe suddenly. But the system will continue. Someone else will step in. Someone younger, hungrier, just like you once were. And somewhere, right now, there is another officer, sitting in a cold office, watching a system collapse, thinking the exact same thought you once had. If everything is falling apart, why shouldn't I take control? And just like that, the cycle begins again. This was never just about crime. It was about power, about timing, about understanding how